one thing we can't see. And so I'm blind, so I'm the poison in my wine, but I drink it knowing ghosts are only make-believe. There's no way around the way I was, so I won't make excuses, but the future need not know our history. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. I've been thinking there are parts of us that hide from our other sides, as I've been seeing parts of me. Just like the leaves, just like a turning of the tide, I'm another season, but you're the one thing that won't change. I lost myself the day you left. The truth is I was never there, but please ignore your better reason here, and come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. Try to blame it on the wood, try to blame it on the booze, try to blame it on you when it was me. Try to say it was the money, try to accuse it everybody, but lies are on me. I was wrong, but come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Somehow I'll figure me out, I'll figure me out. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me. Come on back to me, come on back to me, come on back to me.
All right, and we are back. So, moving away from your singles, during our little break in between songs earlier, we were talking about your Patreon. Now, you have a live TV show, well, JDTV. Mm-hmm. Do you, and that started in January 2020. Are you still offering that on your Patreon?
I am. I kind of started it. I actually started before the pandemic on Mondays, and it was really tongue in cheek. It's like a music variety show. So I'll play a song or two, three. For a long time, I do 3 songs in a segment. So I play a handful of originals or covers, and then also have a segment where I'd either bring in a guest and interview maybe another musician, sometimes remotely, or at the various times when you could do it safely or whatnot. I would have them in person, yeah. So it's kind of a variety show with music, and there's a chat feature where you can communicate with folks watching, and I can do like little live polls, and it's kind of a goofy joke thing. It's just I make fun of myself pretty consistently. I have a good time with it. But yeah, I do that every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time through my Patreon, and it's been really fun. It's just kind of a nice way to check in with folks and kind of keep a little community going as we're all trapped more or less at home.
So then on Wednesdays, you have exclusive Ellie Wednesday posts.
Ah, yeah. So, well, and actually, you're reminding me. I'm guessing you're on my Patreon because I
am.
You're actually reminding me that I got to change some of the lingo because we now, since I started the Patreon, I now have another child. So Ellie she's 5, and I now have a 1-year-old named Jack. And when I started the Patreon, Jack was still just kind of an idea, but
a twinkle in your eye.
Well, you know what? He had already twinkled, let's say. But,
okay.
but he was very much on the way. But now that we've got both of them, I changed from Ellie Wednesday branding, if you will, to Tyke Tuesday. And so now I've got on Tuesdays I post. So I'll share like a funny video or a cute photo or something like that. It's nothing crazy, but it's I'm like half musician, half dad in my head. And really most of the time I'm dad. Like it's just amazing no one's screaming right now that you're hearing people eating. So I'm pretty I like to share a lot about the kids and whatnot. So that's one of the ways I've been doing. But everything is branded kind of as a joke, like JDTV. What? That's ridiculous. JDTV. Come on, it's like live stream. It's not like syndicate or anything.
Right. Right.
But I make it seem like it's a really big deal. And then same with I could just post a picture of my kids. I don't need to have a hashtag for it. But something about it, I'm always. I know. I'm sure people see it and they're like, "Wow, that's pretentious." But I'm really trying to parody. I'm trying to parody pretentiousness, but I don't know if it always gets through. And either way, I think it's funny, so I don't care.
So do you also? So you have 3 different types. You have the $3 a month, which is just JDTV. Then the $6 a month, where you get the Ellie Wednesdays and a bunch of other stuff. But then for $12 a month, the exclusive Blue Ninja. And... Okay,
I gotta say something here. To anyone listening, I'm not paying Raffy to do this. I didn't ask her to do this. I just want to be clear. She's on her own doing this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stop her, but she's on her own. I just want. Okay. I have like kind of a handful. I do, yeah. So I kind of have a handful of tiers, and for folks who don't know, Patreon basically it's like NPR for musicians, or like a subscription based like Netflix type thing. You kind of pledge like a monthly amount, so $3 a month, or in my case it's $3, $6 and up. And the idea is most people hopefully can afford to help out a musician or two for $3 a month, and so the hope is that if I can find enough $3 a month people, that then I can kind of help cover the lack of touring that was originally paying my bills and that sort of thing. So I've been trying to get creative, but yeah, so I do the live streams at the $6 a month is really where that's the real sweet spot, right? That's where you're getting album downloads, and I do the exclusive posts. I do a lot of videos and how-tos, and like I'll talk about gear, I'll do cover request videos and things like that, kind of audio downloads, all kinds of stuff. And then I also have this Blue Ninja thing where we get together, right now it's monthly, and we'll do like virtual games. We'll play those Jackbox games, if you're familiar with those, and stuff like that, like on through a Zoom call. And it is a financial thing that keeps me afloat, and I have obvious biases and kind of commercial interest in it, but I really do love it. I mean, it's been like such a fun way to get to know some of these people and build a community, and there are a lot of friendships and things that have come from it. And I'm lucky. I'm on the lucky end of it, that I'm also able to make it work to pay the bills and such. So
yeah,
it's been a good thing though.
Yeah. Now, have you had any of your higher tiers, like your $25, $50, and $100 per month? Have you had anybody join those tiers, or is it specifically the like?
It weighs. Yeah, it weighs tremendously toward the $6 tier, I would say. However, I have been fortunate enough to have some folks on the higher levels. There's a merch tier where you get stuff in the mail twice a year, and I build it could be T-shirts. Sometimes this last time around it was an album, like a special EP that I made just for Patreon, like an acoustic collection of songs. So something like that, but. So I have some folks on that tier, but there are folks on every tier, but definitely the more affordable ones are
right.
Kind of where the bell curve really lands.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I want to say you're the first just person in general that I've been able to talk to that has had success through Patreon. So that's another reason why I'm talking a lot, because I haven't been able to talk to obviously podcasts and stuff like that, they talk about their Patreon and you see how many patrons they have and stuff like that, but it's different to actually be able to speak to somebody who is getting a benefit out of it. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely it takes a while to get it going, and it's a leap of faith, because I think the hardest thing, I think a lot of folks don't necessarily know exactly what it is. It's not like you're not just kind of giving money away. I mean, if you have to value the thing that you're giving to, but I'm on the back end, every week I'm making content and doing videos, and I'm writing my silly episodes, and trying to make stuff. And I think obviously not everyone's going to be interested in what I'm doing at all, but for those folks who are, I'm really kind of hustling to offer them at least the option of content that they might like. And so I think it's hard to kind of communicate. It's such a different thing. It's hard to kind of communicate that, but if you're getting started in something like this, I mean, here we are. You're definitely creating great content. You're hustling, and also lifting up the music community and stuff. So hopefully, folks kind of wise up to that, notice it, and if you want to build a Patreon, I hope they'll jump on with you. Yeah,
thank you. I'm definitely I have considered that before. I also had have you ever heard of Buy Me a Coffee?
I have heard of that. Yeah.
I had that and never got anything, but I also I think I have to get out of my head, because in real world personal life, I'm not the type of person to ever ask for money. I'm just so when I even asking for the donations on my Instagram, it took me so long to do that, because I just I don't know. And plus again, pandemic, people are struggling, and so then I feel bad, but regardless,
I think you're right. I started mine after the pandemic was the reason for starting it. I lost 60, 70 shows, and we had this kid on the way, and I was honestly just terrified. And I don't know that I feel for it, because I don't know that I would have done it without that feeling of desperation in the beginning. But a friend of mine, Joe, he said something to me if you don't, you have to ask direct. People will be willing to help you. You have to kind of ask them directly. And I noticed the first time I said I have a Patreon, it was kind of some exploration and such from folks. But then when I said hey, please join this, more, you kind of have to. And I agree with you on that. This job has been such a, musicians. And I'm sure you're feeling the same way in the music sphere. Artists are the most insecure people, and that's why part of what drives the making of art. And then you have to also go on stage and be judged.
Right.
You're putting yourself there to do that. It seems like an unhealthy combination. And then also now the way we survive is by essentially you feel like you're begging. The whole thing's a bad model. It's a bad model. But you kind of do what you got to do to if you have to make that art, you swallow some pride, or you ask people to to give you a little bit of leeway, or I don't know. It's a weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of art, I am looking at your online store with all your merch, and can I just say, iconic is the best thing I have seen today.
You've made my day. Thanks for saying that. I got to credit my sister for that, Sarah. I don't know, she's kind of like a